Time for more on UATV English, but first some modern history. Ukraine reached a, without any exaggeration, historic milestone on its path to EU membership on November 8, 2023. Following the European Commission's recommendation to begin accession talks, it lays the groundwork for the European Council's critical decision in December. Despite Russia's full-scale war of aggression against us, Ukraine has done an enormous amount of work to successfully and systematically transform and implement all 7 recommendations of the European Commission. The European Commission has determined that Kyiv has sufficiently fulfilled the 7 criteria allowing official negotiations with Ukraine to begin. Ukraine's future is firmly anchored in the European Union. We remain steadfast in our commitment to complying with EU standards and practices. Ukraine has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to defending the values and principles shared by European nations. Ukraine's accession will not only strengthen the EU defense capabilities and food security, but also its efforts to implement the Green Deal, for example, cybersecurity, you name it, digital governance initiative. With that said, we are for the question. And how the question of the week sounds, it was asked on previous Sunday by DSZR8PW, asking, how will EU membership stop the war in Ukraine? Since the beginning of Russia's insidious attack, the EU has been supporting Ukraine in all sorts of ways. Militarily, in particular, funding of the training of Ukrainian forces and assisting European countries in their weapons supply for Ukraine. The economic resources to survive this war is also extremely important. The EU is working with the International Monetary Fund to push it to resume bank lending to Ukraine, which is currently impossible because of the war, of course. If everything succeeds, it will be a very powerful signal for other investors, in particular for the rapid international recovery of Ukrainian cities. And most importantly, joining the EU will be a step towards achieving the goals of the Ukrainian nation 10 years ago. The revolution of dignity occurred after the Ukrainian presidents denounced the European vector and tried to turn Ukraine towards Russia. Just imagine what would happen to Ukraine today if the people had not stood up and would not clear and loud sound out our desire to become a part of the European family. The country with which some Ukrainian politicians wanted to become friends in 2013 is now killing us and destroying our cities. As simple as that. That is why we choose the EU, because we know exactly what Kremlin-Russia life are like. If you think that it is good to live in Russia, then go and find out for yourself how people live there outside Moscow or St. Petersburg. This is exactly how Putin wants everyone to live there, according to the laws of, 18th century. And we do not want that. But answering your question, how will EU membership stop the war in Ukraine? The answer is, it will not. The victory over Russian evil cannot be achieved that simple. However, a step towards the EU is no doubt an important milestone along the way of the victory of Ukraine on behalf of the entire civilized world.